post-op appointment to finally get this massive bandage off and get into a cast. So pretty excited about that. I say week 2, it's about 1.5, 2 weeks maybe. There's still a decent amount of lingering, throbbing pain, but each day has gotten better than the last, and that's all you can really ask for. That first week, just being bedridden, just sitting and reflecting, it gives you a lot of time to think about how I can get better, how I can refocus, how I can use this injury and this time off for good. Right now, I know this injury has given me a sense of perspective and a chance to step back from my sport as a player. And right now I'm learning about myself both through watching my film and how I've responded in games this past year and just my general life, just refining my mental toughness. I think the first step in refining that in my journey is refining my consistency and how that looks different for me. Because before, consistency meant day in and day out, never miss a workout, always keep your body moving, always find a way to get on the court. Now I look at it as, how can I be a better version of myself than I was yesterday? And what habits can I build that I can carry with me, not just as a basketball player, but as a person? So far for me, that's meant, first of all, taking much better care of my diet. Not that I wasn't taking care of it before, but taking care of it to a level where I'm creating an environment healthy enough to create sustainable healing for my body. But most importantly is taking care of the mind, right? A lot of time away from the game, it's very, very easy to get down on yourself and to get in your own head and think about how far you're falling behind or whatever you may think. This first couple weeks, I've really been able to refocus and realize where I'm needed to improve mentally instead of physically. So I've been getting back into my Bible, I've been getting back into prayer, I've been getting back into my daily meditation, I've been getting back into my daily readings, and not just making it an occasional thing anymore, but making it part of my daily routine. I think setting up your non-negotiables is something that every player and every person should be doing to stay consistent. I was reading about a guy who played with NBA players, and he looked across all these different players and all these different play styles, but one thing stayed the same, and it was their routine. They didn't do something flashy every single day. They didn't ignore the process. Every single player in the NBA has their routine, whether it's a morning lift every day, whether it's their barefoot shooting with Steven Adams, whether it's their fill in the blank. Every athlete has their daily routine that makes them the best version of themselves. And I think that you are shaking. Every athlete has their routine that makes them the best version of themselves. And right now I'm finding what that means for me off the court. With that being said, we are here. So let's get this freaking bandage off and get into a cast so I can put hoodies on again. So real quick, we are in the post-op room right now. I just had all of this on my forearm, and now we have this as our scar. Honestly, not as bad as I expected, but still pretty gross. But thankfully we're gonna get casting this thing pretty soon and get it all covered up and keep healing. But you know, one day at a time. So about 5 minutes after that video happened, I damn near passed out in that chair. I broke out into a sweat because they started removing the sutures out of my wrist. So that wasn't fun, but thankfully we got it off, and now we got our cast. It was terrible because they said I was losing color. Me, out of all people, I don't have much color to lose, so it all worked out. But now we're in this cast for about 3 months or so, but all things considered, it could be worse. They said every single day I played over there, it was like I was playing Russian roulette with my wrist. And if I would have fallen on it that same way, in that same fashion, the cartilage would have collapsed and I never would have been able to play again. So it's all about perspective, especially with an injury. Overall, I'm just grateful to have some great doctors to take care of what I'm doing. And still been doing some fun stuff with basketball. And speaking of which, we're on our way to do a little bit of that right now. So I'll meet you guys there.